yoga block. We're only going to need it for a minute, but if you have one handy, that'd be good. If not, we don't need it. Are you ready to? Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Mindful Movement on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Today, we're going to focus on our glutes. We're going to focus on our booty.
8 a.m. Eastern. 8 a.m. Eastern.
What?
You said 7 a.m. Eastern. 8 a.m. Eastern.
8 a.m. Eastern. I know, I'm not good with time zones. Okay. If you've got a yoga block or a pillow, grab it. If not, you will survive this class. Our main focus is going to be on the gluteus maximus. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start off in a seated position. So with mindful movement, I try to teach you moves to make your body feel good. These are moves that are going to engage and efficiently contract muscles. And you pick out which ones you like for your body, and then you incorporate these moves in your everyday routine or every other day routine. So let's get started. Let's warm up the hips a little bit. And I just want to have you sit in a seated, comfortable position. Get your spine really tall. Let's keep our spine a little straight for the first few circles, and we're going to rotate around, just keeping our spine straight. Keep it straight. So we're rotating right here from this crease in our hips. And if you want, you can just put your hands right here in front of you and just really focus on keeping the core straight for this. We're working on the core. Now let's reverse it. So we're not going loosey-goosey in the spine like we sometimes do. We're keeping our spine upright and we're working it from our hip crease. Yeah, that's great. All right. So let's work on this hip crease a little more. We're going to start engaging the glutes with this next move. What I want you to do is line yourself up at the edge of your mat. You're going to take your left leg and bend it in front of you. And you're going to bring your right leg behind you. But your knees should be lined up equal. Okay, so get yourself set up. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand and we're going to turn it into a kickstand. We're going to bring it behind us and we're going to push it down into the floor, and we're going to lengthen the space between the shoulder and the ear. So give that a push down, get a little stretch going through here. Keep that space as we push ourselves up to our knees. So keep that space nice and wide. Push yourself up to your knees. And from here, we're focusing on this back side. So squeeze this glute back here. The more you squeeze back here, the more you're going to open up right here. So squeeze there, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now reach your arm up in the air. And you've got a nice long wingspan here from arm to arm. And go ahead and do a little rainbow with your arm. Swing it back and forth. Sorry you can't see my whole arm, I don't think, but you kind of know where it's going. Use your imagination. Paint that rainbow. And we're still squeezing that glute on the back side. All right, let's come on down. We're going to switch our legs up. So already we're learning how to engage that glute by squeezing it, okay? We're going to be doing a lot of that today. So you're lined up. Your left leg is behind you. Your right knee is in front. You're going to push yourself up on your hips. You're reaching up, and as you do, you're squeezing back here. Squeeze it. Get it going. Get it going. And do your arm circle. Paint a rainbow. Start the day off right. Let's start the day off with rainbows. All right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. Keep squeezing. And take it down. Good job. So this next one, we're going to go face down. And I want you to watch me first to see my position, and then just listen carefully to the cues because you'll be face down. So I'll show you the position, and then we'll move you into this position. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our hands folded in front of us. Our forehead goes on our hands. I'm going to take my right leg, curl my toes under, and keep that leg straight, and let that knee kind of pop up off the ground. Then I'm going to bend my left leg, and I'm going to be using it to lift my knee up off the ground, okay? So go ahead, go face down. I will talk you into this position. Your forehead is on your hands. You're going to extend your right leg out and you're going to pop it straight so that knee comes off the ground. You're going to bend your left knee and then you're going to take your left knee and lift it up and take it down. Lift it up. Hold that squeeze. Hold it up there. Hold it up there. And take it down. Left knee lifts up and take it down. All the while, we're keeping that right leg strong and extended. Left knee up and take it down. We've got 2 more on this side. Left knee up and take it down. And left knee up. Hold it up there, hold it up there. Squeeze that glute and take it down. All right. So let's go ahead and switch sides. So I've got my left knee extended, or leg extended, and my knees popping up off the floor. Bend your right leg, and then we're going to lift the right knee up off the floor. And we're not doing a huge lift. It might be 1 inch. It might be 2 inches. You might feel the right knee go up higher than the left. You might not be very even in this. Our goal is to get it even. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Take your right knee, lift it up, squeeze your glutes and hold your knee up. And lower it down. And if you want to take a break and let that straight leg bend when we lower down, go ahead and feel free to do that. But I want you to extend the long leg, lift the bent knee, lift, lift, hold it, hold it, hold it, squeeze the glutes. Take it down, relax, good. Straighten the leg, lift the bent knee, hold, hold, hold. Take it down, relax. Now, if you're feeling this go to your low back, you're lifting your knee too high. So squeeze the glute and lift the knee. Go ahead and straighten the leg, lift the knee, hold, hold, hold. Take it down, relax. Let's do 1 more on this side. Straighten the leg, lift the bent knee, lift and hold, 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 and take it down. All right. Let's make sure our low back's happy and our whole spine is happy. So let's come up to tabletop before we flip over. So come up to tabletop. We're going to do some spine rolls. You might know them as cat-cow, or whatever, but we are going to roll our spine a little bit. So go ahead and let your feet flatten out. I want you to bring your chin to your chest, and as you do, you're rounding your spine to the ceiling, and you're pulling your belly button, pulling your navel up high into that spine. Pull it up there. Contract all these muscles on the front. We got to give them a little love today, too. It's not going to be completely glutes. And then let it drop down. Let it drop down. Just let it hang. Let's round it up again. Round up, round up, round up. Push it up. And as you're doing this, feel your shoulder blades pull apart from each other. Your chin comes to your chest and your neck is rounding as much as your low back. Feel that whole spine move into a nice curve, an arch. And then as you lift your chin, your low back's going to drop. And so your neck is tilted up and you've got that same dip in your low back. That feels so good and we need it, especially early in the morning. Let's just do that 1 more time. Bring your chin to your chest, pull your shoulder blades apart, round your navel up to the ceiling, stretch out all those spaces between our vertebrae. And I want you to stay in this rounded position. And I want you to push your hips back to your heels. Stay rounded. Stay nice and round. Stay round. Now we get to let it drop. So lift your chin, bring your elbows to the floor, look up at the end of your mat, and let's just sweep ourselves back up. Keep your chest as low as you can to the mat. Sweep it through your hands and push back up the hands and knees. Good job, good job. All right, let's flip over on our back side and we're gonna do a series of bridges. And when we change the position of our legs and feet, we're changing the certain muscles in the glutes. We have several muscles that are encompassing the glutes. We've got our glute medius, we've got our minimus, we've got our maximus, and we also have external rotators back there. We've got 3 really strong external rotators back there. So we're going to be kind of highlighting different ones as we change the position of our feet. But let's start off with our straight on glute and get it firing like it should. So I want you to put your yoga block or your pillow in between your knees, and let's use our abs as we roll down to the floor. So pull your belly button back into that spine, just like we were when we were on hands and knees. Keep that back rounded and roll it down. Think of those vertebrae. Just roll it down, one vertebrae at a time. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. And then just relax. You've made it. All right, so let's bend our knees here. And what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to squeeze those glutes together and lift. So I want that to become second nature to you as we're going through any of your glute exercises, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands down by our sides. And I want you to think of your shoulders. Push them down away from your ears, all right? And push your shoulder blades down into the floor. They're going to be your foundation when you lift your hips up on the floor. What's left on the floor? Your shoulders. They need to be in a good place too. So we're going to be mindful of that. My shoulders are pushed down away from my ears to push back into the floor. Really strong shoulders. Now you're going to squeeze that yoga block between your knees. Next, you're going to squeeze your glutes, your butt cheeks. Squeeze them together. Squeeze them as hard as you can. Keep that squeeze, and this is where we lift. So keep that squeeze and lift. Lift the hips up as high as you can. Remember, we're engaging the shoulders into the mat too. We're staying strong up top. And then keep that squeeze as you lower down. I really want you to learn this squeeze, okay? Now release everything. All right. And squeeze the glutes and lift the hips. Remember your strong foundation in your shoulders. There you go. Hold it up there. Keep that squeeze. Now keep squeezing as you lower down. We're not going to get lazy here. You're going to keep squeezing, and then you get to release it. All right? Good. So squeeze it, lift it, and the harder you squeeze it and the stronger these glutes get on the backside, the higher your lift is going to be, okay? And keep squeezing. Keep it level if you can. And lower down. So let's focus on lifting the hips level. And some of these, we're going to be singling out the glutes, and you're going to find one side works better than the other, and it's going to be a little shifty, and don't worry about it. Once you do it often enough, you're going to get them even. But let's see how even our hips are when both our feet are on the floor. So I want you to picture your hip bones right here, your ASIS, pointing straight up to the ceiling, and I want them to lift up nice and level. So the more you're squeezing on the back side, the more level they're going to be. So go ahead and squeeze your glutes on the back side and think of sending these hip pointers up to the ceiling, nice and level. They're going straight up to the ceiling. Keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing. As you lower down, keep them level. You can even put your fingers on them. Keep them level, keep them level. And lower down. Okay? So that's what we're going to strive for as we're doing these individual moves. Not always going to happen. Let's go ahead and take our yoga block out from between our knees. We're going to give our glutes a little bit of a rest. We're not going to pull them in to stretch them. We want them to keep working, but we're going to activate our hip flexor, and that's going to let the glute relax a minute because we've just already done a little bit of our glute work. So what I want you to do is take your left knee, bring it towards your chest where it can go. Now put your hand in front of your left knee, and I want you to push your knee into your hand. So you're doing an isometric here. And as we do this, you're lengthening the glute. You're lengthening it. You're stretching it out because your hip flexor is contracting, it's shortening, and letting the opposing muscle, which is your glute, lengthen. And so just take that down. Let's do that 2 more times on this side because we'll be using this as our break. I want you to get a good feel for it. So go ahead and bring your knee to your chest. It might get a little closer now. These might have lengthened a little bit more. Go ahead and push your knee into your hand. Push it, push it, push it. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. And then let it sit down. So one more time on this side. I'd like to do them 3 in a row on each side because you can see the progress. You can see how your knee's getting closer to your chest just naturally. And I want you to push your knee into your hand. Push it. Let that glute lengthen. It knows it's got something to take it there, okay? And take it down. Go ahead and stretch that leg out long. Nice job, nice job. Okay, let's go with our other leg. You're gonna bring your knee to your chest, stop where it has to. We're not pulling it any closer, we're gonna push it closer. So go ahead and push your knee into your hand, push it into your hand, and let that backside lengthen and get nice and long. And then take it down. Bring it back up. See if you're getting any closer. Go ahead and push your knee into your hand. Push your knee into your hand. The glutes love this. It's a great break for the glutes. And take it down. Let's do that one more time. Bring your knee up. Is it getting any closer? Mine is. Go ahead and push, 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 push. Now, this is a move you can do in bed before you get out of bed. This is a great move to get the backside working, get the hip flexors engaged, and get you up out of bed. Feels so good. All right, so we're going to start off with our feet. Your feet are planted, they're facing forward. What I want you to do is turn your feet out, and your heels are going to stay where they are. So we're going to work the outside area of the glutes with this bridge. So your arms are down by your side. Remember, we're using those shoulders as a nice foundation as we lift our hips up because that's what's left on the floor. So push the shoulder blades down into the floor. Go ahead and squeeze your glutes. Your feet are turned out and lift your hips up and lower and lift and lower. So we're barely tapping down. Lift and lower. Now, as you lift, you're squeezing those glutes. Remember, we learned how to squeeze them on the way up. You can let it go on your way down, though. Squeeze it on the way up. Let it go on the way down. Squeeze it on the way up. Let it go on the way down. Squeeze it on the way up. And let it go on the way down. All right. So what we're going to do from here, go put your feet back in neutral. And from here, spread your feet a little bit farther apart. Now what I want you to do is turn your toes in. Your heels are out. Your toes are in. We're going to do the same thing. So go ahead and press your shoulders back down into the floor. Squeeze your glutes and lift and lower. So now you're working the inside of the glutes. You should feel your adductors on the inside of your legs engage a little bit and lower. Squeeze and lift. Focus is on the glutes. Got all kinds of other muscles working this position, so we're working a lot of stuff, but we're just concentrating on the glutes right now. So squeeze the glutes together before you lift and lift up. It's a subtle squeeze. Just put your mind there. Squeeze and lift and squeeze and lift. All right, let's reposition. Okay, so now you want your feet hip width apart. Feet are flat on the floor. We're going to come up into a bridge position, and then we're going to alternate tapping our heels away from our body. So get up in that, squeeze your glutes. Get up in that nice, strong bridge position. Go ahead and think of your shoulders. Push your shoulders back and down. Your arms can be pushed into the floor too. Now from here, I want you to take your left heel and just extend it away from your body and tap and bring it back. And just keep squeezing. Now the right tap and bring it back. So see how important the squeeze is. If you're not squeezing, you're going to fall over. Tap. We're alternating our taps and bring it back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tap and bring it back. Keep squeezing. Tap and bring it back. Squeeze, tap, and bring it back. One more each side. Keep that squeeze, tap, and bring it back. And last tap, and bring it back. Lower it down. All right, that was some good work for our glutes. So let's go ahead and give them that break where they can lengthen themselves without us yanking on them. So once again, you're going to bring your knee to your hand and push your knee into your hand. Push it, push it, push it. Nice, relax it. Go ahead and straighten that leg long. And let's do the other side. Bring that knee to your hand. Push it in, push it in, push it in. Nice push. Bring it down. Extend it out long. And lift it up. So let's take our left leg. We're going to take our left ankle and put it on top of our right knee, or right in front of our right knee. So you've got like a figure four with your leg right here. Let that leg pop open where it can comfortably go. So once again, we're in an external rotation. We're working this area, this outside area of the glute. So we're going back up in our bridge. You know what to do with your shoulders. You're planting your right foot on the floor nice and strong. And from here, we're going to push our knee away from our body, just with our knee, just with that motion from the hip, and keep that leg open and then lift the hip up. Lift it up, lift it up. Keep it open, and then slowly lower it down with control, with control, with control. So you should feel the glute on the bent leg, the one that you're lifting up, minus my right side. It's the one that's working, okay? The foot that's on the floor is the glute that's working. So go ahead and squeeze and lift, 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 lift. The other one's kind of going along for the ride, but we've also are training it into external rotation. And take it down. So what you want to create with this moves is you want to create a lot of different ways for the glutes to work. We're working around all the muscles of the glute. So it takes the load off the low back, it strengthens the hips, and it makes you feel just wonderful. So go ahead and squeeze that leg and lift, lift, lift. You're keeping the other one open as you can get it. And then lower down. All right, let's switch. Go ahead and extend that bent leg out long for a second. Nice. We're going to plant that leg on the floor. We're going to take our other foot and we're going to plop it on top of that one. Now, this leg, you might notice a difference. It might go out farther. It might not go out as far. Or you might be perfect and totally equal. I'm not sure, but I hope you're perfect. Go ahead and push your shoulders back and down into the floor. You're going to be working this left glute here, the one that's the foot's on the floor, and you're going to squeeze it and you're going to lift, 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 lift. Hold it up and lower it down. So as you do, be mindful of where this bent knee is. You want to push it away from your body using the back side of the glute. So go ahead and lift, lift, lift. Just felt my hip kind of open up a little more. That was pretty cool. And take it down. Nice. We're going to do that one more time on this side. So what we're doing is we're really being mindful of one side of the glute on this move. So go ahead and lift, lift, lift. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And lower it down. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we kind of open that up into external rotation. We're going to let both legs go into external rotation. So you're going to bring your feet together. We're going to get a little butterfly going down here in these feet. So you're going to be lifting up from the side of your feet. If does not feel good to your body, you do not need to do this. Just go back to regular bridges like this. So we're going to be opening the legs up in butterfly. This is where I want you to be real mindful again of your shoulders. You're going to squeeze your back body up top, push your shoulders into the floor, and then lift your hips up. Lift up. Hold it here. Hold it here. So we're working from the outer edge of our foot as our balancing point. And go ahead and lower down as level as you can. This is where it gets a little challenging to stay level. So be mindful. Go ahead and try to lift it up nice and level. So before you lift, squeeze those glutes. Open those legs up. Open those butterfly wings. And then lift the hips up. Lift them up. We're getting into the season where we're going to see more and more butterflies floating around. I love spring. I love this time of year. Hold it up. Hold it up. See if you can keep it steady. You're going to shake a little. And go ahead and lower it down. Lower it down. And you can bring your butterfly wings back together for a minute. But I want you to do one more of those. So open up your butterfly wings. The bottoms of your feet should be together. Your feet should, the outer edge of your feet should be touching the floor. Your shoulders are back and down nice and strong. You're squeezing your glutes and you're lifting your hips up. Hold that butterfly. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it. And go ahead and lower it down, lower it down, lower it down. And release. Stretch the legs out long. I've got one more. We're going to do a leg lock bridge. So we're going to single out the glutes one more time. Go ahead and bend your knees. What I want you to do is I want you to bring your right knee to your chest, and you're just going to give it a little bit of a hold. You're not pulling it in. I don't want you to stretch it any farther than it wants to go. Just notice where it goes and hold it there. From here, we're going to push up our hips off the floor. So now we're not necessarily going to be able to engage our shoulder blades into the floor. Can you feel the difference? Our shoulder blades are pulled off the floor right now. So we've got most of our weight resting on the top of our spine. Go ahead and lower it down. So you're going to keep a hold of the bent knee. You're not pulling it any closer to you than it wants to go. You're going to lift up and you're going to squeeze the glute on the side that the foot's planted on the floor. So squeeze it and hold it. Hold it strong up there. Hold it strong. And take it down and relax. We're going to do that one more time on this side, and then we're going to flip to the other side. So squeeze the glute, lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips. And lower down. Nice. Let's switch sides. So this is going to feel good when you get to bring this leg into your chest. So it's a subtle stretch. I don't want you yanking on it. I don't want you pulling into that stretch. It just got done working. Why does it want to be yanked on? It doesn't need to be yanked on. So we're going to just engage the other glute, push that foot into the floor, and lift our hips up. Lift the hips up. Lift it up. Hold it, hold it, hold it, and lower it down. So you're always going to squeeze these glutes. Get this in your head before you lift them. So squeeze that glute. We want to tell that muscle, this is the muscle that's going to work as you lift up. Lift, 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 lift. And take it down. Let's do one more, squeezing that glute, lifting the hips, lift them, lift them, lift them. Lift them, lift them, lift them. And lower it down. Okay, we're gonna do our form of stretching it out. Bring both knees up and just go ahead and push both knees into your hands. Push them, and feel those glutes stretch out. Push, push, push. You're increasing the strength in the hip flexors, and you're telling the glutes they can take a break and relax. All right, go ahead and roll over to your side and come up to a seated position. And let's just do a few rolls and let our spine wiggle, and then we'll be done. We're gonna just massage the glutes as we sit on them, okay? You did a great job working those glutes today. So go ahead and roll around. Roll around. Nice. Just roll over those sits bones. Get that blood flowing through those glutes. Go the other way. Really move it through the bottom there. Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining me on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock Eastern. This is Mindful Movement with Chris. See you guys later.
Bye, Chris. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye, guys.